back to another episode of Cape Time, and we are here to discuss all things comic book, and we are so excited right now. A lot of news that came since our last news episode. Spider-Man No Way Home premieres tonight, with the movie coming out at the end of the week. But today we're going to mostly shy away from the Spider-Man talk, as there's a lot of other stuff we want to get into, and I'm excited for it. Tom, how you doing?
I'm terrible, but I'm excited for Spider-Man. So
There you go. That'll bring up
uh,
your mood.
yeah, what a
If
that's like
Spider-Man
that's like the
can't, what
that's
can?
like the one saving grace to the week is Spider-Man. It's just like everything else kind of sucks. But like Spider-Man. So okay, I'm gonna grind through for the next few days.
We got
So
this. All right. So we're gonna get into a lot of different pieces of news that came since our last news episode, and I guess we can I'll just rattle off some of the different things that are here. So we found out that MODOK is in fact in Ant-Man 3. That is very fun. And the big twist here that we found out after that initial report was that Darren Cross is actually the character that is MODOK in the MCU, which is obviously a total change. And for those who don't know or forgot, Darren Cross is Yellow Jacket from Ant-Man 1. So evidently, he has been stuck in the quantum realm and he comes back as MODOK in some capacity, I guess. I have a lot of thoughts on this. Personally, I'm gonna say I don't like it now. With that said, it could be better later. I just don't know, obviously, how it works within the story or the way they're going to do it. But when I think of MODOK, no offense to the actor Casey Stoll, when I
Corey
look at
Stoll.
him, Corey Stoll, not Casey, Corey Stoll. When I see him, I don't think of MODOK, and that's
Uh,
not like I don't think of MODOK when I see him at all.
yeah, before I give my opinion,
Yeah,
I would just like to say we are not sponsored, so
no, we
I'm
are not.
gonna I'm gonna pull Mike Francesa and pull the off that. There
There
we
you go.
go. I'm not giving free advertising. Clearly, by the red cap, nobody can tell what drink I have chosen. Uh, but personally, is he just gonna be the voice for it?
I feel like he has to be the whole thing. I
Like
feel
like obviously like if it's Darren Cross, it'll be like you can see like in flashbacks or however you want to do it, like how he became
well, yeah. I
MODOK.
mean, like they're gonna make that part
But
of it clear. It's
but like
yeah.
once MODOK is MODOK, pretty sure it's gonna be just voice and motion capture, right?
I mean, I suppose. I don't know.
He's
It's
got a cool
weird.
voice. He's got a cool voice because remember, I always liked the line in Ant Man when he goes, "I will disintegrate you."
Hmm.
I think that's what he said. And it was just like that's always kind of stuck with me. And I was like, I can see it. So like I
I
just
guess we'll
I don't
see.
I don't like how everything has to be kind of tied to something
I
that
was gonna
happened
say
before.
it like in many cases I don't care when Marvel does it because to me usually it works. In this case, I don't know.
I'm
Maybe it
just
could.
kind of like
It could. I don't know.
just like switch it up. You know what I'm
It's this
saying?
is very much a case of I'll knock it when I see it because I think I think I really will have issues with it. But hey, I've been proven wrong before by Marvel. I've also been proven right by Marvel. I mean, there has been a number of cases there, but I'm going to say that I would have just preferred to be more comic accurate in that case. My only reasoning for going in that direction I can think of, quite honestly, is because he's not the main villain. Like Kang is the main villain, and I feel like maybe it was a scenario where they said it might be a little hard to introduce an entirely new character, build him up, and then have him be MODOK in the same movie where we're having Kang be this multiversal threat.
Or we just like wait.
No, they could wait. Of course,
Like
they could have just waited. I'm just saying, maybe they really saw an opportunity where they said, I think this could work, and they liked elements from the original script from Paul Rudd because in his original script for Ant-Man 3, before the entire Kang plot came about, it was about just MODOK and the Young Avengers. And if I were to guess, I think both of those elements are still going to be part of the movie. Like MODOK, definitely, obviously, but I think Young Avengers are still going to be in that narrative just because this is such a big threat where I'd be so surprised if they contained it just to Ant-Man. Like that would be That'd be very surprising to me, at least.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
I will reserve judgment.
No,
That's what I'll
that's
say.
where I am too. I
I
reserve
will.
judgment.
Right now, I'm with you though. Like, I would have done something different, but like, I'll see the movie,
Yeah.
and I will be happy to be proven wrong.
Oh,
Watch it. It would be
totally.
very funny. It'd be very funny if MODOK was just motion capture, and they just like Corey Stoll's voice, and they
Mhm.
just decided to reuse him,
Yeah.
just as a completely different character.
I saw someone say, "What if they use Jim Carrey's head with Stoll's voice?" And I was like, "No, because like, why would you not use Jim Carrey's voice at
Ah,
that point? He's so perfect for that."
just
And also, he's so recognizable to the fact where if I saw another
yeah. Why wouldn't you
voice,
just use Jim
yeah,
Carrey's
like
voice?
if I
Like,
saw another voice coming out of Jim Carrey's face, I'd be really uncomfortable.
like the
That'd be weird.
two things that Jim Carrey's great at: faces
Yes.
and voices.
That's exactly
Faces,
why
voices.
I think they fucked up there. Because from everything I've heard, they really like genuinely did consider Jim Carrey. Like I heard this from a few sources. Like they really did consider him for that role at one point. And my question is, if it was a case where like he couldn't do it, so be it. But like if it's a case where they passed on him, that was a mistake. I'm firm on. I don't care what you say. That was perfect casting right there. If they passed, it's a big if, but
Yeah, like last comic book project that Jim Carrey was in was Kick Ass 2.
uh-huh.
So like, and then before that he was in Batman
Batman
Forever.
Forever,
So like, I mean
Redemption.
like, but he's never been in the MCU. He's never, he hasn't been in any recent DC project either. So like,
No,
I feel like it's inevitable that once he decides to kind of come make it like a bit of a comeback, because he's been pretty quiet
he has
overall.
been. Yeah.
I think he'll find a comic book role. He's such an icon that it's pretty much inevitable.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would love to see him as, I think he could be a really fucked up Norman Osborn. I think actually that I think he was actually offered the part before Willem Dafoe was.
I can maybe see that. I mean,
You want to know
the
why?
definitely in the crazy eyes, the facial expression.
No,
I can see him nailing that side of it.
it's not even just that. It's also like, if anyone's seen Jim Carrey when he like actually tries to do dramatic
Oh,
acting,
he's great.
he will like
Eternal Sunshine of
he
the Spotless Mind, Truman Show. I mean, the
like the
guy, he's great.
he's so layered
Yeah.
as a human being. Like, dude can just do anything, and like he's got the right look, and obviously with like with the way prosthetics are now, and
Oh yeah.
with his facial acting ability, which is just second to none, like he would he would kill it. He would do it.
I think you're right. That's a good call. I will say
Yeah.
that is a
So
good
like,
call.
yeah, I'll just put Jim Carrey in anything, and
Oh yeah.
you know, hopefully
So
hopefully Jim gets the vaccine soon, though. He's kind of an anti-vaxxer, so but like that's all.
well,
Speaking of
yeah, I was gonna
oh
say,
god,
speaking of anti-vaxxers, Black Panther 2. So obviously there's been a lot of talk with that movie because of the whole Layla Wright drama. She has been at the center of all of it for that movie, which is a shame because I've been saying this for so long. This is a movie that it really needs to be about Chadwick's legacy, and it really sucks having this at the forefront of it rather than like Chadwick and the story and just the work that Ryan Coogler is putting into making this beautiful sequel as opposed to all this bullshit drama. That's the part I hate. Like I hate that more than really her decision, honestly. Like I hate that more than her decision not to get the vaccine. Just the fact that it's blown up the way it has, because it's horrible, quite honestly. It is. And there's been reports saying that initially from a couple sources that I knew were bullshit because just come close to the camera here. Giant freaking robot isn't real. They spread bullshit. Just letting you know about that. But
there's a giant robot.
yes, unfortunately. And
Where?
they spread total bullshit, and their report about her not being in the movie anymore spread like a wildfire for some reason, and people believed it, even though I knew it was fucking bullshit. And the fact is, Hollywood Reporter said themselves, she is still in the movie at this time, and I guarantee you she's going to be in the movie moving forward, because they are not going to reshoot and change the entire plot of the fucking movie that they already shot a lot of just for that. Like, if anything, I've heard that they might have changed the ending a little bit because of some of the drama, and that I can maybe believe. I can believe that because that doesn't change the whole movie. But
Right.
for people saying that they're gonna fucking reshoot the entire movie because of this, and they're gonna write her out and change the whole plot, no, that is not going to happen, as they do not have the time. And it's just, and there's no reason for it. I mean, in the end, if they want to write her out after this movie, sure, that's totally possible, and I can,
Well, they
I
can
believe
write
it.
up like, yeah, just
Like, you could do that, but they're not cutting her from the movie. It's not happening.
No.
She's literally
Right.
the lead. She's literally the lead of the story they wrote. You can't cut her. You just can't.
You think Ryan Coogler regrets that?
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, he regrets it.
He probably does, but I don't
He
think he
regrets
regrets it from a storytelling standpoint, though. Like,
No, but he regrets
yeah,
it because of
because
all
of
the
because of
controversy.
because of the controversy. Yes, but I do feel he really did believe this was the smartest way to go narratively. Like, that I do believe. But
That's fair.
yeah.
Like, seriously, it sucks that Chadwick isn't here, man.
No, I mean,
Like,
it's
it
a shame.
sucks because, like, I felt like Black Panther had such a bright future.
It's kind of
And
like
now,
how I felt, how I feel right now, honestly. Like, God forbid, but imagine a world where Simu Liu died for Shang-Chi. Imagine like a world where that happened after this movie. I feel,
please no.
I'm saying, like, that's how like, he got his solo movie, and you look at him and you say, this guy's a superstar, man. He has so many more things he can do. He has such a career ahead of him, and then
It's
gone.
Out of nowhere.
And
Like,
obviously
geez.
also the parallel of the impact both actors have had on where, their culture is so relevant in these movies. In the case of Black Panther, of course, and then in Shang-Chi, where you have all this Asian culture. It's so rich, it's so vibrant, it's amazing. And I respect the hell out of both of those guys, obviously, and it's just a shame to see that Chadwick is not here anymore. And I'm hoping, in the end, his movie is what we hope it'll be for Black Panther 2, and that he gets a proper send off to the character, and it's a real love letter to that character. That's really what we all want, and we hope that all this controversy is put aside in the end, because no one wants it. No one wants it. Regardless of where your views are, you don't want to hear about this with his movie. I don't think. Like, you just don't. You don't. So that's just,
And also, Chadwick and Simu are the only two actors to play their respective characters. It's not like Spider-Man where there are three different actors.
No, there is a very real parallel there. There is.
Yeah. So like, Chadwick is the face of Black Panther. He is the face of T'Challa.
Yep.
Forever. And there'll probably never be another T'Challa
at least
movie
not
for
in the MCU. I don't think.
A very long. Well, like, I think eventually
well,
one
like
day
in
we'll
multiverse maybe, but like,
I think one day the MCU will do a complete reboot of itself.
Well, then it's not the MCU anymore. That's my point.
No, like, sure, it's complicated. It's
I know.
So like, it eventually one day.
Very far from now.
Very, very far from now. When we're old as shit.
Yeah.
They'll just reset. They'll do something to reset, and then they can do another Spider-Man story if they want. They can do another T'Challa, yada yada yada.
Yeah, so on and so forth.
Yeah, because they'll want to continue this forever.
Yeah.
But yeah. So basically, all I'm saying is, like, this isn't like Chadwick's gonna be remembered as T'Challa for the foreseeable future. And this isn't Spider-Man where you can recast. This isn't Batman where you can recast. It's one and done. So it sucks to see that he only made 3-4 appearances as Black Panther.
Yeah.
And now he's gone. And it's just it's not just heartbreaking because we're not going to see him in our comic book movies anymore. It's heartbreaking because a great actor was taken from us too soon.
Yeah.
And by all accounts, a great human, by the way.
Oh, he's wonderful human being. I mean, he's
Mm.
one of the nicest people you'd ever meet. I mean, it's wild. And I have high hopes for this sequel, of course, that honors him in the right way. And another tidbit on the movie, it sounds like Michael B. Jordan is likely going to be in it. Like that appears to be a thing from all indications I've seen. So I'm expecting him to be in the movie as like the Casey Walsh teased this that a popular villain is returning to the MCU as a quote unquote guide to a young hero, and I'm 99.9% sure, based on speculation as well as just things I've heard, Michael B. Jordan is that popular villain, and he's going to be guiding Shuri probably. So that's likely going to be a large part of the narrative in that movie. So
how are they gonna bring him back?
in what's it called? The world, like the spirit world kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about?
So they're not gonna like actually bring him back from the dead. He's gonna be in the spirit world.
Because technically he's a panther, so he
Right.
would be there.
Correct.
Yes. So
is T'Challa like? Are they actually gonna kill T'Challa
off screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I mean, they're not gonna CGI him. I mean, I think that's definite.
No, that's not what I meant. Are they like, because they could easily just do what they're doing with like Steve Rogers and just saying he's somewhere.
I mean, they could, but I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna kill him off. If I had to guess, like I'm not sure how. It won't be like, oh, a villain came and killed him. It's gonna be like a disease or something for sure.
Yeah.
Because they're not gonna disrespect it where a villain that you never even saw, let's say, killed him off screen. Like that's a little. I don't see them going in that direction. I think it'll be he just died of natural causes. That's it. It's a tragedy, and there's nothing more to it. I think that's the best and the safest and smartest way to approach it, and that's what I expect. But we'll see, of course. But it's a movie I think everybody's excited for. A movie a lot of people have questions about because there's so many directions they can go in, man. I mean, and you got to keep in mind too. I mean, we have Namor in this movie too, which is so cool. I mean, going into the world of Atlantis is fucking awesome. I think that's going to be so cool, and it expands the MCU even more. And just seeing how the conflict between Wakanda and them pans out, it's exciting, man. It's probably one of the more exciting dynamics of comic book movies coming out next year. So that's kind of my stance on that. Do you have any other thoughts on Black Panther 2?
I'm looking forward to seeing it because I like the first film a lot.
Yep.
But I am also like, Chadwick's death killed the hype for me in a lot of ways.
It killed the hype, I would say. It's more about like it's a different feeling than it would have been.
Yeah, it's more about like honor. It's more about continuing the world of Wakanda and honoring his legacy as opposed to continuing where we left off when we last saw T'Challa.
Because I'll be perfectly honest, I don't think I'm going to be content with the heir to the Black Panther throne until his son inevitably takes over. And yes, his son is going to be part of the next movie. And not part of the next movie, but like they mention him and he's alluded to at the very least, and that's going to be the future heir to the throne.
Who do you think's the mother?
That's it. I would guess it's what I haven't seen the movie in a while. Damn, I can't remember the girl's name.
It's been a while. It's been a while for me as well.
It's like
is it Lupita's character?
Yes.
Yes. I believe it's Okoye.
Is that no? Isn't Okoye the I know Dana Garari. What's her name? Denai Garari or something.
What? You know what? I have an iPhone. Just 1 second.
Yeah, look it up. My memory is so bad, man. I'm so bad with the names.
I haven't seen it in so long, just because like I've been having issues like getting myself to see it because I'm kind of sad. Nakia,
yes.
Nakia.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're right. Denai Guerrera is Okoye, and Lupita Nyong'o is Nakia. So I was wrong. I apologize.
Got it. So yeah, I would expect that to be the mother. Honestly, that's my like. Who else would it really be?
I would have her be the mother as well because like that's the.
I definitely wouldn't have it be someone we haven't met yet.
Yeah,
that'd be
like
weird.
it'd be very weird if like
Yeah.
we found out like off screen that
Yeah.
T'Challa hooked up with someone else, and it's like,
Yeah. Like I've
yeah,
heard people
so
say, "What if the mother is Storm?" I'm like, "No, stop it, stop it. It's weird. We can't. We haven't even met her yet. That'd be so random.
the mother is Mephisto. There it is.
That'd be dark."
That would be very dark.
So I guess we'll move on to the next topic. This one's a fun one. This is not even this isn't even news. It's just a fun little tidbit from that James Cameron interview where he talked about the Spider-Man movie he never made. I just thought this was cool, honestly. I never knew that Arnold Schwarzenegger
I did.
was
I did
supposed to
know.
be Doc Ock.
Yeah.
I never knew that, and
You
I
know-
just and
do you
I
know
needed
what his
I
cat-
needed to talk about it. I
Do you
needed
know
to
what
talk
his-
about it.
Do you know what his catchphrase was in the movie?
No.
So he says this repeatedly throughout the script. His catchphrase was, "Okie dokie."
I'm hearing it in his voice too, and that's absolutely hilarious.
That was his catchphrase. And Spider-Man and Mary Jane have
Sex.
sex on.
Yes, it said
On
the
the
script was a
bridge.
lot grittier and it featured a full sex scene where Spidey webbed Mary Jane to the Brooklyn Bridge.
I feel
Holy
like-
shit, we fucking missed out, man. We missed out.
I feel like James may have needed a rewrite.
Yeah.
Uh,
I love him, and I think it would have parts of it probably would have been good, but I don't think he had the right mind for Spider-Man.
like, what the fuck was that? Like
Leonardo DiCaprio as Peter Parker.
I think DiCaprio could have pulled it off.
That's the one part I think could have been really cool, maybe.
Like, yeah, because, like, even though, like, DiCaprio's, like, a good-looking dude, he also can be, like, he does have nerdy vibes.
Especially a younger Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, yeah, I could see that. Especially because in Titanic, he was playing the quote-unquote, quote, poor boy, Jack.
No, I could
So,
see
like,
him pulling that off for sure, yeah.
Yeah, you just put some glasses on him, fuck up his hair a little bit, you're good.
Yeah. God. But yeah, that's a trip, man. That is a trip.
Okie dokie is the catchphrase.
The greatest
one
movie
that-
he never made.
You know what? I have such an idea for an episode that we should do before No Way Home drops, and that
What?
is Spider-Man movies that weren't made.
Oh God.
And not just Amazing Spider-Man 3 and
No, I know.
Raimi's 4, but I want to talk about like the Cameron film. I want to talk about David Fincher
Yes.
almost directed Spider-Man.
I don't know much about it, but like I do know of
It
it. yeah.
was he wanted it to be based on the night Gwen Stacy died. He didn't want to do the origin.
That actually would have been fucking dope.
So yeah, he wanted to do the Gwen Stacy arc.
I will say, I
Uh,
think I bet you he would have fucking nailed that movie.
Yeah, what happened was that this was back in the early 2000s, and they're trying to make the first Spider-Man movie, right?
The
So
the
they're
rights
like-
were in limbo and shit.
Yeah, no, it was just like the studio Sony wanted to do the origin, and it's like because obviously with that being the first one,
Well, yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good
you kind of just want to tell that first.
Yeah.
But then yeah, so basically it was just wrong timing. If there were other Spider-Man movies that were made and the origin wasn't necessary, I think that had the potential to get made. So
Yep.
yeah, fuck. Remember before the deal for Spider-Man into the MCU was made? I remember one of Sony's kind of ideas that they were throwing around in the emails was instead of doing like a connected arc for
Mhm.
Spider-Man, they were gonna do adaptions of comic arcs. So like they were gonna do like a straight up Kraven's Last Hunt movie, and like that's just that's actually a fun idea.
That could be cool. Yeah.
They were I don't think they were gonna be like connected in any way, but they were just gonna be like chapters.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
that
yeah.
makes sense. It's like cool, like just individual stories. So I think that could have been cool, but like I'm happy with what we got. So like that's got to be an episode, whether this week or some other time.
We'll find it.
Yeah, just because
Um,
like there's a lot of material there.
So we got a decent amount of talk on some of the Disney Plus shows from Casey Walsh recently from Geeks Worldwide, reliable source, and he was talking about She-Hulk and
Worldwide.
Yeah, She-Hulk sounds really fun. I mean, he was talking about it, and he said straight up, like, this is a comedy, not just like there's comedy influences or like there's a few comedic scenes. Like, no, this is like a straight up comedy with other, of course, some serious moments in there, but like it's a sitcom almost in the way, not the way WandaVision was necessarily, but it's like it's a legal comedy, and it sounds so fun. And just he was saying there's a ton of cameos in it, and of course one of them being Charlie Cox as Daredevil in the yellow suit, So that will be fucking awesome. And one of the things that really interests me about this was he was talking about kind of where the plot might be going, and he said Abomination, like the role of Abomination in this, if you don't want to know, stop here. But essentially is he's gonna be
You
selling
had me at Daredevil.
yeah. Abomination will basically be selling She-Hulk's blood and using it almost as like an antidote for people who are going through troubles in life, and it creates a bunch of other Hulks, and that's how we get to this eventual that we heard about, the World War Hulk movie. Yeah.
Isn't that the plot for the Amazing Spider-Man?
Yes, no. Except that brought people back to life.
You fucker. What? No. The Lizard's plot for Amazing Spider-Man 1 was to turn people into giant mutating lizards.
Yes, but I'm not sure. But the
In
difference in
Amazing
this
Spider-Man
case,
3, they were gonna bring people back to life using
well, yes,
Peter's blood.
Yeah, that's what I was referencing. Yeah.
What is with the fucking blood? What is with genetics in Spider-Man? Jesus Christ.
Well, I'll say this. In this, I think it'll work better in this show because Amazing Spider-Man was meant to be taken much more seriously. While this is, again, appears to be very much a comedy in a lot of ways. And also, I have to see the way it's handled, of course, but like, yeah, apparently that's kind of what goes down. It's like a quote unquote cure, but in the end, it just creates more Hulks. And that leads to, again, what is likely going to be what he reported before, like weeks or months ago, as a World War Hulk type of movie, where rather than the actual adaptation, though, it's a war of Hulks. And that's why I was confused when they said that, because I was like, we don't even have that many Hulks yet. I mean, I'm sure they'd introduced a few in this, but I was like, it's not enough for a war. But now, after hearing this, it makes a lot more sense. There's going to probably be quite a few Hulks now. So yeah, that appears to be the direction they're going in. Titania is the villain, and Banner, he didn't go into detail, but like he said, Banner can reach human form at will, I think. I don't remember. There's a reason why. I think he
missed development in this man's life in the MCU, eh? Fucking Universal, man. Damn. I would have loved a dramatic Mark Ruffalo Hulk trilogy.
We would have got it. We would have got it.
You know what? That man... Here, I need to adjust my seat as I say this.
Yeah.
That man... so underutilized since Avengers 1, it almost makes me want to cry. Because this dude has been nominated for like as many Oscars, maybe even more, than Downey.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how good that Mark Ruffalo
Oh, he's awesome.
Is. Like, he gets nominated, like, in every other work that he does besides his Marvel work, he's getting nominated for, what, Golden Globes, fucking Oscars, you name it. All the big awards, like, this dude, Emmys, like, you name it. Like, it's time.
I'll say this as someone who is a big fan of Mark Ruffalo in this role. I'll say I actually do like what they've done with him. I just think I agree with you. It sucks we never got a dramatic solo movie, because I think that would have worked. Like, if you even kept most of what they've done the same, it just could have been complemented by an additional movie.
That man is such good casting. And it's just like
I love what they do with him in Ultron. I love what they do with him in Ragnarok. Like, I love that shit.
I would watch 6 Hulk movies with Mark Ruffalo
Oh, of course.
in a row. That's
Yeah.
how much I love that cast. As long as it's not treated as a straight up comedy. Like you can have your MCU comedy in there, but like we need like if I were to do like a Hulk with Mark Ruffalo, it would be like I would love to go back to like around the Ed Norton kind of days because technically they're the same.
They
So
are.
like
Yeah.
yes, it's just a recasting the same way that Don Cheadle is Terrence Howard. Uh, but yeah, so like I would love to go back to those days and kind of like pick up the pieces on where Betty is and all that. It's like let's fill in the gaps here. Let's just give me some Hulk, man. Like, and you know what sucks? You know what sucks is that fucking Larry, he fucking came up with this great Hulk idea
You pitched
a
it to me
few months
already.
like
I think, right?
yeah a few months ago or like I forgot when it was, but ever since then I've had such an appetite for good Hulk shit, and it's like for like a real Hulk movie because we've only gotten 2 in existence. Give me a third, and
Yeah.
we're getting a third.
And look, again, I really
Comfortably.
do genuinely like his arc in the MCU. I do. Like, I like the way they did it. It's just, I agree. A solo movie would be great. And in addition to that, it's like, we're at a stage now with the Hulk where he's clearly about to go into a totally new arc. Because because I always knew, everybody knew, the Professor Hulk stuff was never going to last. I mean, that was always just going to be temporary. So like, that's why I always never understood when people got so pissed, like, God, Professor Hulk is like, it's not gonna last. Like, it's a temporary thing that's part of the Hulk's evolution. It's good. It's only gonna last. It's already done, basically. I mean, like, seemingly, I think it's close to done already. Honestly, I bet you by the time we get to World War Hulk, it's not gonna be Professor Hulk. Like, I am 99% sure on that. I'd be shocked.
It's gonna fade. It's gonna fade away, and
Yeah,
like the thing about Hulk is
he has to be constantly changing.
like it's a constant evolution. It's a constant like back and forth, you know. So yeah, and I just want more than anything because like you see in that first Avengers movie that like if Ruffalo was given a dramatic Hulk movie or a show, that guy could have delivered a performance that rivaled, you know, Evans, Downey, Holland, you name it. All the leads like that dude can straight up bring it as an actor. It just sucks that rights issues
Yeah.
is why this man never got that. And it's so cool to hear Casey say that this is gonna happen, that we're
Yes.
getting a Hulk movie. Like that's just so
It's
exciting to
huge.
me.
It's so
It's
huge, man.
just
I
like
can't wait.
I just I God, the thing that sucks though is that the next one that they're doing is World War Hulk. I would have loved just one movie
Oh
before
yeah, of
that
course.
that was just Ruffalo.
It would have been nice,
Like,
obviously. Just blame Universal for that one, man.
nah,
Sucks.
fuck. Damn it. It's just
So,
yeah.
we could talk about Moon Knight a little also because that was discussed as well from Casey, and he said he made it clear like the main villain of this show is Sun King. It's not Dracula like many speculated. So
Is Ethan
Sun
Hawke playing Sun King?
he didn't say he knows for sure, but like he said he'd be shocked if it weren't because Sun King is such a major character. Like who else would Ethan Hawke be playing in that
For sure.
show? And also just looking at a picture of him too, it actually looks a lot like Ethan Hawke, honestly, Sun King. So I
Ethan
would say
Hawke in
yeah.
the MCU is something that I never thought would happen.
The Ethan Hawke versus Oscar Isaac in a dark, gritty MCU show is like inject that into my veins, dude.
It's
Inject
like
that shit.
Kevin,
Kevin,
did
did you do this?
you're doing this? Like we're not in Kansas anymore? Like
I
Kevin?
can't. And he was talking about Casey was talking about like the action and the violence of the show, and he said like you know like if you go back to let's say Falcon and the Winter Soldier, let's go back to episode 4 where John Walker fucking decapitates the dude with the shield. He said like that level of violence. Imagine that for the whole show.
Hey, Luke, just give me a high five through the camera.
Yeah, give me that.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we need.
Like
Like,
that's
I,
exactly it.
fucker, I've been waiting for that. You know me.
All right, me too.
I love street level Marvel so much. So much.
And the
Like,
cool thing about this too is
oh,
it's street level while also having like a god like
yeah,
villains and
yeah.
characters. It's really weird, you know,
The, cool-
but it
the,
works.
the cool thing about, like, street level stuff is, like, even though it is street level, like, a lot of these characters have, like, really cool powers
Yeah,
and really cool kind of backstories and shit. Like, fucking Ghost Rider is technically street level, but this motherfucker,
he's an
hey,
Egyptian god.
like, God, like,
like
come on now.
like he described the series as dark, it's a hyper violent, and essentially Mark Spector and the ape and like the whole thing early on is apparently like the ancient god, I can't think of the name, but like is taking over or like kind of becoming part of Mark Spector in the show. And a lot of it early on is tackling the paranoia aspect where like he's questioning whether or not this is real when he's going insane. And it's like a whole thing about that, which sounds really like intriguing. And like he
There's
continues
a
on
reason
like,
Ethan Hawke and Oscar Isaac signed up for this one.
yeah, of course. And like
Like,
he said like him and this god are going around and essentially they're attacking other people who are possessed by other gods, and that's where Sun King ends up coming in at some point.
I do have a question though. It's
Yes.
like, this is obviously a new character being introduced into the MCU, and it's interesting because, like, obviously this is New York set, right? It's very street level. I'm just interested to see, like, how they would connect any of this to the MCU.
Does wait where? I don't think it takes place in New York though.
Wait, with the shot of him jumping from rooftop to rooftop, pretty sure, and then him on the subway, that's in New York. Pretty sure.
I'd have to check
Like,
that.
I think it takes place, like, around. You get what I'm saying? I think it takes place,
No,
like,
I don't know now. Like I
I
know
think it takes.
eventually he's definitely brought to New York. I don't know
Yeah,
if
yeah,
he's
yeah,
there.
that's what I meant. Like, partially.
Yeah,
Yeah, but basically what I'm trying to say is, like, I'm just very interested to see, like, obviously this is a brand new character, and like this is like a whole new kind of level. Like, they're really introducing to the street level into the MCU proper, and it's like, I don't know, like, how you could introduce any elements of the previous MCU stuff besides, like, if you want Blade to show up.
I don't think
Like,
it's gonna have much connection at all. Quite
and
honestly.
that's one of the main appealing things to me, is it's gonna feel a lot like Daredevil in that sense, where, like, maybe you get a few
Yeah,
references,
like you have
but
a few
like
references just because realistically it is part of that universe. So like maybe on
but
the
like
news or
we
something you'll
don't
see
need,
something.
yeah, exactly. It's like we don't need, like, a reminder though that this is MCU set. You just you guys have the Marvel Studios logo at
Yeah.
the beginning of every episode. We don't need it. So, like, we don't I don't need, what Hawkeye did with, like, the at the episode 1 with the auction, and they're doing Avengers Endgame artifacts. It's like, I don't need that here. Like, just just go tell the story.
Yep.
Tell the story of Mark Spector. I'm all in. So I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, that is without a doubt my most anticipated Marvel project for next year, and it's looking like it's going to be the first project of next year. Actually, as
Mm.
of now, like with all indications are that it's going to be Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, and they likely close the year with Secret Invasion.
Mm.
So it's gonna be a fun year for Marvel. I mean, that's for sure. I'm excited, but yeah, Moon Knight looks really awesome. And another, the last tidbit that really came from KC was Guardians 3. He was talking about the villain is going to be I don't know anything about this quite honestly, but the High Evolutionary. I don't
Mm.
know much about it, but I guess they're very much a cosmic level kind of threat.
Were they in Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Were they the golden people?
I don't know. They're different.
No,
Actually,
they're
High
different.
Evolutionary is just one person. Actually,
Oh,
I thought it was a
interesting.
group. I thought it was a group too until I looked it up. It's a single person, and from what I understand, this actually sounds interesting. This person is actually who created Rocket. So
Oh,
and
shit.
and like
Rocket's
this
gonna die then.
and this person very much has been like almost like I think I could be wrong on this. Don't quote me. Like I'm new to this character entirely, but I think they're like he kind of creates these different beings and creatures and experiments with different ways of getting different species almost. And Rocket was one of
Howard the
the
Duck.
yeah, honestly, you never know.
Like,
But
there you go.
you know what? It makes me think, that's a I think the idea of focusing on that side of Rocket is really smart, and it's something I've always wanted because they've alluded to it in the previous Guardians movies, and
Hmm.
I always knew that could be a very emotional focal point that you could really hit on, and I think it's pretty clear now, knowing this, that's definitely the direction that
They
James Gunn
really
is going to be
made
going in.
they really made a Howard the Duck movie in the 80s.
You realize we're probably going to get some Howard the Duck content over the next few years, right? Even if it's small, we're going to get some. I mean, we already
Looking
did in What
look
If.
looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
Okay, Mr. Duck. Oh, he was so funny in What If.
It's happening.
Um,
It's happening. Anything
yeah.
else?
For Guardians 3, no.
Hmm.
That was really just more of a tidbit, but we didn't even talk about this. So back to the Sony side of things. Michael Keaton, we found out that he is doing extra reshoots for Morbius. So the reshoots that we did hear about, it is in fact for that movie. So that is now out there. It's confirmed. And I will say that makes me honestly really happy because that tells me that they are absolutely going to be fixing things, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I just think
For the love of Christ,
I
please,
think like why else would you bring him back? Like what else would you accomplish?
please fix everything. It's so confusing, man.
Truthfully, I'm not too worried now. I'm really not. I think it's going to be sorted out, and call me crazy. I have a little bit of faith in Sony right now. I know.
Okay.
It's a little out there, that opinion, but I got a feeling here. I think Morbius is going to be an actual good movie. I'm calling it. I'm calling it. But
Crazy.
and the next piece of news, we found out that Destin Daniel Cretton is actually back with Marvel on a huge extension. He's going to be doing a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows for them, as well as Disney and Hulu. And that's awesome, man, because obviously we loved his work in Shang-Chi. I mean, dude is an awesome director, and he's doing the sequel for sure, which is great. And he's likely going to be doing. We heard there was going to be a Ten Ring show, so he's likely going to be doing that. In addition to one that's apparently a comedy, he said, in the Marvel universe. And if I were to guess, that is going to be Legends of Atlas, because I heard that was in development at one point for sure. And also, you consider the fact that fans really did want it actually around the time WandaVision was playing, because Jimmy Woo was a huge part of that, as well as the character of Shang-Chi actually. So I think it'd be smart to have him direct that. I think that's gonna be something that happens for sure. So I'm happy he's here, and I'm sure he's gonna be producing a lot of great content for Marvel. So awesome
For, su-
news.
for sure. I really like Shang-Chi a lot. So, like, awesome. It's good. It was pretty expected that he was going to obviously do the sequel. And it's cool to see that they're ready to expand that universe as well. So, like, that it's like a universe within a universe. So, I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to it. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. Just very
yeah.
excited.
And this is just a small tidbit from Daniel RPK. He was talking about Black Adam on Twitter, and I will say he got me pretty hyped for this movie. I mean, I'm already. I call me nuts. I really have a feeling, just in terms of theatrical releases, DC is going to beat Marvel next year. Like I really think so. I mean, you have the Batman, you have Black Adam, which I really have a lot of faith in. You have Aquaman 2 with James Wan, and James Wan is a brilliant director. I'm sure his sequel is going to be, at worst, it'll be as good as the first. At best, I think it'll be a couple steps above that. And you have the Flash. I mean, and that has the potential to be an amazing movie directed by Andy Muschietti, who directed the It movies, and I absolutely love his work. So and talking about Black Adam, Dan was saying this movie has an Avengers Infinity War / Man of Steel level action scenes, and they're like really huge, epic action scenes of all different kinds, and they include magic, and also apparently they're like Dragon Ball Z esque in the way they play out to an extent, and that's absolutely awesome because as a big Dragon Ball fan myself, I will say that's fucking great. That like that's explosive, man. That tells me they're gonna really embrace the comic bookiness in this movie, and that is so cool. And just the whole cast too, man. I mean, The Rock is gonna be perfect in this role, I think. And you look at, I mean, they got Pierce Bronson, dude. They got Pierce Bronson to play Doctor Fate.
Yeah, they
Like
got James Bond.
that is god tier casting. I mean, it is absolutely incredible.
That was pretty much an automatic. Like, yeah,
Like, yeah,
that's good.
that's
Yeah,
awesome. And
you
like,
did good job. Good
it's
job.
gonna be a brutal movie too, from what he was saying. Like, it's gonna really, it's they're not afraid to show gore and action here. I mean, I'm so excited for DC, man. As some, because people love to be negative when it comes to what they're doing, but for me, it's so hard to be negative at the very least about their 2022 slate because it looks so fun. Like how could you not be excited about these four movies coming out next year? I just don't know. I
The
really
thing,
don't.
the thing that I love about DC is that they're not owned by a family-friendly brand
Yep.
like Marvel is. They're owned by the mouse, obviously.
And
So like,
obviously, like they still produce awesome content, and it's just different, you know.
it's just like DC can go that extra level. Like, I don't think you'll ever see uh, a Marvel Studios project do something that the Batman's doing with the rats. If you
Oh
get
God, yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't think that flies
No, I think
with
Moon Knight is probably going to be like some of the darkest they go, honestly.
yeah, and even like the John Walker scene, it was cut off camera. Like,
And
it's just
I'm gonna be honest. I think that's honestly, in that case, I thought that actually helped it. Not seeing it actually
no,
kind of
no,
made it better.
I agree there,
But they
but
also
like
could. They wouldn't have shown it either way, though. Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna see Wilson Fisk slamming people's heads off with car doors anymore.
No,
Like,
unfortunately, I don't think so.
it just feels like Warner Brothers can go that extra mile, and they can do R-rated content, and like hopefully I'm proven wrong. Hopefully Deadpool 3 comes out and they keep all the blood and the gore and all that, and
Well, we already
you
know
know
Deadpool 3 is gonna be R. Like that's
yeah
like
yeah
it's
yeah,
that's
that's gonna
official. Yeah.
it's gonna be R, but like how like is it gonna be R because he says two F bombs, or is it gonna be R and we're gonna get that blood and that
No,
gore?
I at that point it's like there's no point in holding back. An R rating is an R rating to me. Like I think they know that
Yeah,
personally.
literally all I ask is to just continue the story of
Yeah.
Deadpool 3.
Although I do think, I mean, I have no idea what direction they're going to go in for that movie because they literally don't. They don't have to go in any particular direction now because of the way Deadpool 2 ended, as well as also, obviously, it's a whole new universe. I mean, they could do the whole movie just about him getting to the MCU. Like that, they could very easily make
Yeah.
that a movie. Like there's so many funny things they can do. I mean, I know Ryan Reynolds obviously at one point pitched the Wolverine and Deadpool road trip.
I
That would
think
have been
like the
funny.
funniest thing would be him just never saying a word about the new environment. Like, I think like him just completely like there are clear hints that like he knows, but he's just playing it coy to the audience. Like, we're moving on. I think it would be very funny if if somehow, some way, they could rework the first two films into MCU canon somehow, and say, and he could make like a comment like, "Hey, remember this happened in the Fox universe? Well, actually, slight change of plans, retcon, boom."
Nah, they're not, they can't even do that. They
Yeah,
literally
but
can't.
it would get confusing, and like it would also be like
We literally
introducing
saw we literally saw parts of the X-Men in that movie. Like they couldn't do it even if they wanted to.
yeah,
It wouldn't work.
like
But
yeah, just like it'd be funny if like he like blurred out the faces of the X-Men with
yeah,
like TBD, to be determined
yeah,
on the
yeah,
act.
yeah.
It was just like it's like, come on, because like you can with Deadpool you can basically break continuity, no problem, and just not question it.
Yep.
So like, all right, so like yeah, but like I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully, and back to Black Adam, I'm really looking forward to that film. All the footage looks cool. I really love the first Shazam movie. Shazam 2 looks great. So like I'm in.
Yeah,
Cool.
for all the people that like again to talk shit about DC, they've had some misses. Obviously, they've had issues, but let's not pretend they haven't made good movies at all. I mean, they've made some really fun movies. I mean, Shazam is one of my favorites, man, in comic book movies. I mean,
I love, I love,
Aquaman's dope.
I love Suicide Squad. I love
Snyder
Zack.
Snyder Cut is
Yeah,
phenomenal. I
I
mean,
love the Snyder Cut.
yeah, Snyder Cut is literally I consider it to be one of the best comic book movies of all time.
Yeah,
I
like
do.
the narrative that like DC isn't producing good content is just false.
It's old. Like if you want to say that their universe
Back
is
in
good,
they
yeah,
had a bad year in
yeah,
2016 and 2017 they made Justice League and that sucked
yeah,
as well. But in
and yeah,
2017 they also made Wonder Woman 1
and like
and like
you could even say that their universe is very confusing and not as like cohesive as like
correct,
Marvel. Like you could say
correct.
that that's a fair criticism.
It was a fucking mess for 5 years.
Yeah, like that's an okay criticism to make, but like don't pretend the movies all suck because that's
No,
just
no,
not
no.
true.
Like I don't like Batman versus
Church of
Superman, and I don't
Sandman.
like Suicide Squad, but I do really enjoy basically just about everything they've done since, like with a few
It's
exceptions.
funny. I only like truly dislike. I think I'm gonna say 2 or 3 DC. No, 4. I dislike. I don't like Wonder Woman 84. That movie just doesn't work for me. I don't like Suicide Squad, the first one, of course. Birds of Prey, I really wasn't into either. And I think that's mostly it. The rest, I at least like. I at least liked enough. The rest, like even for me,
They're
I
produ-
I like Batman v Superman. I do.
they're producing. They've been producing quality content, and they deserve to be recognized for that. They deserve the recognition, you know. So like, yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Continue that, please. Shazam was awesome. You know, all that Zack Snyder's Justice League, yada yada yada. Just keep going. And like the Batman is my number one movie for next year.
Yep.
So like, yeah, let's end that narrative that they're not producing quality content. It's just it's old. 2016 was 5 years ago. Holy shit. But yeah,
It's about to
so
be 6.
oh god. But yeah. So is there anything else?
Not really. I mean, just really, we could talk about some of the No Way Home spots we just got to see recently because those were kind
Did
of
we
fun.
did we end up talking about before we do that, did we
Yeah.
end up talking about like what Feige said about Charlie Cox? Did we because I think you
Um.
said save that for the news episode.
Yeah, we didn't get
Or
into that yet.
because like kind of want to talk about
Well, we can
it.
talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't say much. I mean, it just like a two.
It just said, yeah, he's Daredevil. He's gonna be our Daredevil, and that's like Kevin. I really appreciate you saying that, but like I waited a full year expecting that reveal to be revealed in Spider-Man: No Way Home. I could have waited the extra 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I could have done that, and like I obviously knew, and obviously the picture of him leaked, so and everyone knew, and I think that's kind of why he said it.
Mhm.
But like everyone also knows that Toby and Andrew are in the movie, so like don't say it. And like when the Charlie Cox picture released, thanks to John Campia, you know, it also released a picture of Toby and Andrew next to Tom Holland. So like you could have just played dumb for 2 weeks
Yeah.
and it would have been better.
You're right.
And then obviously Tom Holland was getting interviewed. I forgot who was interviewing him, and they mentioned
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
a jaw dropping scene in the beginning of the film in an apartment. And thanks to John Campia, we know that the Charlie Cox scene happens in the apartment. And
Also, I did receive confirmation like in that, but those 40-minute like showings of the movie, like
yeah,
yeah, like they did show Charlie Cox in that for sure. So
all right, there we go. Now I'm kidding. I did actually now that I just it gets me excited. Okay, so like, and I do want to talk about the spots, but I also want to talk about. I think we should talk about the spots first, but then after the spots, I want to talk about how the fact that people are actually seeing the full movie tonight, and that's just crazy to me.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
people, like dude, this has been the thing we've been talking about for a full year, year and a half. Well, even like back to, when the deal was made to bring him back. It's like this has been like anticipated since the Far From Home cliffhanger. So
Mhm.
like, dude, people are seeing the movie tonight.
Yeah, I mean
like,
we're gonna get our first reviews starting at 1:30.
like, bro, this like they're gonna at in 7 hours the movie will be starting. Like,
You have no idea how much it means to me that this movie does well with critics, man. I
I hope
really
so.
like I it,
Like,
it, it would really
I
break my heart if it doesn't do well.
I expected to, just because like John Watts has made two very critically
I
successful.
was gonna say like if Far From Home is like a 90+% on Rotten Tomatoes,
Yeah, it's at
if this,
90 right
yeah,
now.
like if this shit is less than 85, I will be furious.
Yeah, like Homecoming very much deserves the 92 it got for me. So
Yeah,
like,
but like for
but
me, like Far From Home, as much even if I like it,
I don't think
a
Far From Home
90.
I don't think Far From Home should be 90. I think for me it's
Even
probably
if
should
you
be
want to put it at
somewhere
like
around.
80, like
Yeah, I
that's
think it should
fair.
be I think it should be like around the 85 range cuz like my grade is 8.5, so like just do the math. Like I think it should be around there. So like I just really hope it's around the 90 range. That would be great. I like for me though, the thing that I'm very anxious about is the Batman next year cuz like I have such high
Yeah,
expectations. Like I'm expecting like
but truthfully, I am more certain with that like
like
that's gonna get better. Like that, I'm sure will get great
I
reviews.
think it's
I am
because I think the thing is it's because the Batman is so much more of a straightforward
exactly.
story.
That's what I'm saying.
This is a movie, 2.5 hour movie that has a lot of shit going on, and like
Like we have to keep this in mind. Like I was just mentioning this last night. Like the first 40 minutes, it has the entire legal dispute over his identity. That's done within 40 minutes. The bridge, that's within the first 40 minutes. Like, and we even get slightly beyond the
the
bridge in
good
those 40 minutes.
the good news is it seems like everyone who's seen that footage really enjoyed it and really was digging it.
Like literally the only complaint I heard from like I haven't talked to anyone mostly about it, but the only thing I've heard from one person for sure, they said it was rushed in the beginning. That's exactly what they said. They said it was
Yeah,
rushed. It was rushed in the beginning, and that part didn't work for me. But the rest of it, I loved.
there you go.
That's
There you
what I
go.
was told.
And
So
like the thing is that even though the legal stuff is probably getting resolved quickly, the identity
yeah,
crisis
that's well
storyline
beyond
is
the
well
beginning.
beyond, and it connects directly to the multiverse stuff.
That's
And also,
exactly what I've been telling people. Yeah,
like people are trying to connect the multiverse stuff to, oh my god, Matt Murdock should have had this long, kind of trial thing, and I think that could have been a really cool thing, and especially how much I love Daredevil, but like I also understand that you can do a story multiple different ways. You get what I'm saying? They've chosen to do this multiverse story where Peter Parker, this version of Peter Parker, is about to experience something that changes him fundamentally forever.
mhm.
That it's the next step in him being the greatest Marvel hero.
Yep,
So like I'm just really excited for that.
me
I
too.
think and like you said, like even your friends whoever told you said it felt a little rushed in the beginning. One thing we have to notice is that that's one man's opinion, right? Or woman.
That's exactly it
And
too.
also, and so when we see
Yep.
the movie, or when someone else sees the movie, or when the critics see the movie, they can feel otherwise. They can say,
The
"Oh, I
big
thought it."
takeaway was that like also this is a very it's a very fast paced movie, and that's something I think this movie honestly should be because like when you have that much going on, I think it needs to be fast paced for it to work. Because
Hmm.
if you drag too much on certain aspects of the
I think
movie,
it's gonna be like a roller
it's
coaster, a
yeah.
thrill ride of sorts. I think it's gonna be something where you're gonna sit your ass in the theater for 2.5 hours, and
Yeah,
your mind's gonna get fucking
like
blown.
the whole multiverse plot, like that's gonna take up most of the movie. Like I only expect the first 15, 20 minutes to be about the legal stuff. Like beyond that, we get into the multiverse plot, the meat and potatoes, as you like to say, of this
But
story.
we have to remember that even though that legal stuff
No, I
is
know.
15 to 20 minutes, like, but you have to remember that, like, the spell does not work.
And even beyond that, even with people, even though his name is cleared, so to speak,
It's cleared
legally, not
but
in the
like,
eyes of the public
but
necessarily.
like O.J. Simpson was
Yeah,
found innocent
that's what I'm saying.
of
Yeah.
murder. People still think he murdered Nicole.
And
Okay.
that's where the conflict continues to come.
Yeah.
So again, it's not just, it doesn't just end like that. So yeah.
Like, here's the thing. There's the shots in the trailers and the spots of him going back to school and all that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure, like, that's after he gets cleared. Like, people are
It very well, no, it has to be. It definitely
and, like,
has to
the
be.
reason
Yeah.
why he does that spell after he gets cleared legally is because his life is getting ruined and his friends' lives are getting ruined because of it. Like, the identity stuff is still right there. And then what Doctor Strange said, the problem is you're living two different lives.
Yeah.
You know, the longer you do it, yada yada yada. It's so, like, that's basically all I have to say is, like, even like Identity Crisis is this full movie just in a way that you did not expect it to be
exactly.
at the
That's
beginning.
exactly it. And
Like,
that's why I think this movie works for me so far.
People were expecting two and a half hour movie where at the beginning when the deal was made to bring Spider-Man back for Spider-Man No Way Home, when they made Marvel and Sony made the deal, they were expecting Kraven the Hunter, Scorpion,
Yes.
Daredevil as his lawyer, you know, a legal trial of sorts, yada yada yada, that, and it's just like they didn't do that. They did something else. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I just
So
had some problems there.
But yeah, you are absolutely right. I mean, it's crazy how expectations have changed in that regard, and what this movie ended up being. And yeah, tonight's gonna be a big night for both of us. I'm definitely gonna be up waiting for those first reactions. I'm very excited to
I have
see.
work tomorrow, man.
I have to say, I can't go to sleep knowing these reviews are coming out and I'm missing it. I have to. I have to.
I'll stay up because, like, I don't have to go to work till 3:30, and also, like,
I'm anxious just thinking about tonight.
Should we delve into my personal life for a minute?
I'm not. I would say yes, but we have a lot. We still have to get to another topic I actually forgot.
Oh, okay. I'll do that later. I'll do that at the end.
I forgot about something. We actually never talked about the that Thor and Love and Thunder poster because now it's because yes, we never got into it.
It's something. It's something.
I'll say this: while it's official in the sense that it's merch, that doesn't mean it's the official movie.
It's not gonna be hung up in movie theaters. It's like a
that's the kind of poster.
It's a Walmart poster.
Yeah, exactly. There's a big difference.
It's something you put on a T-shirt, really.
Exactly, and like for that reason, I don't think it's really a big deal.
Listen, I'm not gonna freak out until we get an official theatrical poster.
And even so, let's be honest.
And even so, most of them
really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Like it doesn't. It's not reflective of the movie.
I've given up hope on Marvel posters.
I've given up on Sony posters.
Oh yeah. Well, you see that Morbius poster?
That one was actually good. Yeah. That one was actually good.
Fucking Sony, man.
But so this is the biggest news from this poster. Korg has a mustache.
There we go. I believe Taika plays Korg.
He does.
Right?
Yes. So. Korg has a mustache, and that's just huge. That is huge. So, and like this whole movie, it looks so. It's like totally 80s cheese. Like there's no. This movie's gonna be fun at worst. Like this is gonna be such a fun movie, and I'm so excited. I mean, dude, there are literally like flying goats on like a battleship from Valhalla looking kind of thing there with fucking Thor and Lady Thor and Korg and Valkyrie just riding along it all triumphantly. Like it's hilarious. Like this movie sounds so bizarre. Like I can't even believe that we're getting it. And like, dude, Christian Bale's the villain. Like
yeah, it's just Marvel on crack.
And like the Guardians of the Galaxy are in this movie for at least the beginning portion, and like the fact that this movie isn't even talked about is honestly hilarious, considering how huge it is when you think about it. I mean, this is about literally Gore the God Butcher, who's going to be slaying gods throughout the whole movie, played by Christian Bale, going up against Thor, Lady Thor, played by Jane Foster, and again,
Played by
Korg
Natalie
with the
Portman.
mustache. Yes, played by Natalie Portman, who looked pretty fucking jacked on set, actually.
Attack of the Clones era, Natalie Portman.
Well, no comment.
Like, I appreciate it.
I know you do. So yeah, I mean, this whole movie sounds really fun, and I'm excited for it for sure. I have no concerns about it, really, quite honestly. That's a movie where I'm like, I know it's going to be good at least. Like, I'm not going to get a bad movie from Taika Waititi here. Like, it's going to be good.
It's gonna be at least a hell of a fun time.
At worst case, that is the worst case scenario, I think, and that's a pretty good worst case to me. So I'm not really gonna complain, but I just want to get into briefly while we're here some of the few TV spots we got from Spider-Man and some of the previews. They look cool. The main three I want to talk about are
Toby, Tom, and Andrew.
yeah, no. The Doc Ock one, I want to talk about the spell, the opening minute, and just the one shot because I love this shot. I'll talk about this one first, actually, while I'm on it. The shot of the okay, before I say it, spoilers if you don't want it. Spoilers. The Green Goblin mask broken, reflecting the Spider-Man No More scene, dude. That is a beautiful shot. I love that. I totally love that. And I bet you it's because it's gonna be he's gonna escape, and then Norman's gonna come back instead of the Goblin, and he's gonna realize like what the hell's happening.
Then he's going to hide out at Feast.
Yeah, and that's where he's gonna throw the mask away, run away, and try to find shelter. I bet you that's what happens there. So
that's exactly what happens. So
I'm a genius. I'm a genius.
Oh shit! Shit. Spoilers.
hey, I said spoilers, and also I really was just speculating, so I can't even tell you if that's exactly what happens technically.
But I can.
Okay, Tom, you don't need to. Okay, well, never mind. Anyway,
moving on. You said
the other three shots. Well, I was gonna say first. I guess we'll go to the Doc Ock one. That one is fucking awesome. And you could tell they definitely cut out some shit there, but like it's fine. Obviously, they just wanted to give us a little glimpse. And dude, when he goes, "Well, what have you done with my machine?" That's chills. That is total chills. And
like Peter has not lost a step.
Yo, Peter is just like, what machine?
like Tom Holland's performance in that scene when he goes hi.
I just love the total. It's so genuine. I love it.
Like I said in our Far From Home review, which is dropping tonight, and our Homecoming review, that kid can sell any line. He'll just go for it every single line that he says.
Yeah.
And it's so perfect for this. And when it's just like it's just so genuine, the hi.
Hi?
Like, hi. Do I know you?
Do I know you?
Like, and he goes, what have you done with my machine? He goes, the what? The what?
Oh, that's great. You want to play games? Fine, let's play.
It's just like
Alfred Molina is a fucking superstar.
It's like, bro, I'm just trying to talk to the MIT admissions lady. I'm not.
Yeah, dude.
Like, I don't know who the fuck you are. Like, go talk to Toby about it.
And I love how they do it's so funny that they do the first person thing, and you just hear, "I'm coming!" Slam. Fucking gets slammed by the fucking, I don't even know, the car. I think. Oh my god, it was so funny. Because he's just so funny. His delivery, like you said, it's just so good. He sounds like such a nerd about it. I'm coming! Slam.
He's just like,
yeah.
I love that he's just sticking his arm out, just trying to aim. And like, cause realistically, like, you're gonna, like, if the car is moving towards falling off the highway, Like you gotta aim perfectly, or else,
Yeah,
like it's not gonna end well. So like, and it's pretty funny
yeah,
because like I think the plot point is like spoiler alert, the admissions lady won't let Peter in because he's a distraction, and
yeah,
also
yeah.
shit like this. So like shit like this happened, and so which only further expands upon the point that hey, Peter may not be able to go to this institution of technology, and
Hmm.
he may have to stay in New York.
Yeah, we won't
But,
go into that whole thing, but anyway,
not only is
that
there no way home, there's no way out of home.
yeah,
Hmm.
actually is really fucking awesome in that whole scene, dude. I mean, and that's only a glimpse of it. I mean, I've heard the bridge scene is absolute insanity. I heard it's a brilliant fight scene, and I'm really excited to see how that plays out. And I'm gonna scream like a little girl in theaters when that all happens, like especially when Defoe comes out. Oh, and I love the score too, dude. The way they're doing his theme is really cool. It's very spooky. It's very reminiscent of actually the scene with the mirrors before that when you're doom do 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 dun with all the percussion and the bongos and everything. It's kind of like that, except it
Here,
has
I'm right here.
like a yeah, it's like that, but like a little more of a mysterious element to it. It's very cool. But
I need the link to the full score, to be honest,
I
because
I don't even have the link. I downloaded it all.
yeah, I got basically what I did is I just listened to track 19, and
Hmm.
I was like,
I'm
yeah,
good.
I'm like, all right, like, cause like I kind of figured like Doc Ock's theme would be similar. Like I just kind of assumed like if you're gonna bring all these characters back, you're probably gonna bring their themes back.
Like they
So
do
like
the themes. They just do their own twist on them.
yeah,
Especially in the case, yeah,
Basically what
it's cool.
Giacchino did is he just took the themes and he just like added to them.
And in the
Like
case of like the Goblin, like it's very different. Like it's not the same at all, but like it's
no,
taking elements from what's been done before while
yeah,
making it his own, and I think that's great. I think that's really
yeah, I
smart
think
by him.
that's perfectly fine. I'm very interested to see what they do with Electro because like I've been
Oh God.
literally on Twitter, so many questions about that theme, that electro theme. It
I
is
oh
go
God.
into my mentions. It's unbelievable.
I think they're just bringing back the original theme, honestly, because
God,
if because like
God,
I think they are.
God, I
Just,
hope so. God, I hope so.
because that's the
Just
whole
to make
thing. If you're directly using the music used in another movie, you can't put it
just
on your score because it's not original.
just just to just to make these people happy. Please, please, Michael Giacchino or whoever is in charge of that Sony Music releasings. I don't give a rat's ass. Please, please put that in there
Um,
just to make these people happy, and so they can stop asking me. Like that's gonna be my mental breakdown. Is
yeah,
just being asked about the questions that I get asked
yeah,
are did Thomas Hayden Church and Reese Evans return?
yes.
Is Electro's theme in it?
God.
And are Toby and Andrew in the movie?
And if you actually,
And the
yeah,
fourth one, are there themes in the movie?
if you have common sense or you're searching for shit, you can find three of those answers easily, quite
Yes,
easily.
yes,
So
yes. And I
anyway,
literally answered the questions multiple times.
yeah,
I
people just keep asking, man.
I keep getting asked the questions and like I keep answering the questions, and so like there are about 6 different tweets of me saying yes, Toby and Andrew are in the movie. Yes, Toby and Andrew are in the movie. Yes, Thomas Hayden Church is in the movie. I'm like
Yeah, yeah.
fuck. It's like guys, this is a movie about curing the villains. Do you not think that these fuckers wouldn't come back if they ended up curing the villains?
Hmm.
Like literally one of the biggest plot points of the movie is Toby, Tom, and
Oh,
Andrew.
I didn't even see this. The cast is on Jimmy Kimmel tonight.
I I literally told you like
Yeah,
two
but I
days
forgot.
ago.
I yeah, but you know I'm forgetful. You think I'm gonna remember that shit?
Nobody pays attention to what I have to say unless it's a Spider-Man scoop.
Even if it is a Spider-Man scoop, I'm probably
Yeah,
still gonna forget. My memory sucks. But
hurts, hurts.
Hey, it's not personal. I forget half the shit everybody says, but
Mm.
anyway, what I
Rock and
was
roll lifestyle, eh?
oh, totally.
Mm.
And
Rock on.
yeah, rock on. The other scene that really caught my eye was definitely the spell because we actually got a little bit more context on that now, which is interesting. And so he actually was able to have MJ and Peter both remember everything, as opposed to just Peter and no one else, which is interesting. I thought it was going to be a case where it kind of just went closer to where what it was, where he just keeps talking and it goes to hell, but it was a little more complex than that. And honestly,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, you're right, you're right, you're
yeah,
right. I know exactly what you're talking about because Doctor Strange's like, yeah, sure thing.
yeah,
But then
yeah,
he kept asking for more. It's like, bro, calm
yeah,
down,
yeah,
calm down, calm down. And I never
yeah,
noticed how delicate that the spell is, because it happened quickly.
yeah, yeah,
Like the spell unraveled quick.
exactly,
So like Peter didn't like talk too much. Like it was just like it happened very quickly.
yeah,
Like I didn't notice like I thought that would have been dragged out a little more, but I really like how it's not. I really like
uh,
that like he because he's basically saying like this is a dangerous spell. It's a very delicate spell. You say the wrong thing, it's gonna fuck up.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And so like it would
and
not make
yeah,
any sense if this were like a long drawn out thing where Peter keeps talking. No. Like he said one thing a little too much, and it's like, fuck, multiverse,
hmm
bang, Toby and Andrew.
yep. That scene looks really fun, man. I'm excited, and the opening minute looks cool too. It looks, it's exactly what I like. The vibe of it is
I love that
perfect.
music, man. That
Yes,
Seinfeld music, like
it's dope.
it's just like you ever play Ultimate Spider-Man,
Yep.
and the kind of reminds me of like the Human Torch races,
Uh huh.
but like kind of it feels like almost like a race against time
Yeah, it's a
in a
great
way.
feel.
It's like it's a great feel. It's upbeat. It's like it's moving. It just keeps this like pace going. This sense of like I gotta get home right now. I gotta tell Aunt May what just happened, and we need to figure this shit out and
Yeah.
get to safety because like shit's about to. It's like it's a feeling of shit's about to hit the fan. It's basically like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Remember, he's running back home.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If he doesn't get home, he's busted.
Yep.
It's that kind of feel to it, and it's
hmm
Spider Man. So like
Yeah.
that's awesome. So like
Yeah.
that's my film nerd
Yeah.
take.
This whole
So there's
movie
that.
is it's really awesome, man. And the fact that we're seeing it soon is awesome. And I'm gonna be in pain knowing I have to see it the day after you. That's gonna fucking kill me. But I will
Yeah,
live. I will live.
yeah. It'll
But
be like you ever see
but
you ever see like
I don't want any descriptions of anything though. Just telling you right now. I don't want anything.
you ever see that Drake and Josh episode where they're trying to ride the Demonator,
The demon the
and
demonator.
and then Megan goes and sees it, goes and experiences it first
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they keep getting sent back in line,
That episode is so good.
and she comes back and she
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, I rode the Demonator." I'm gonna be like, "Oh, I saw Spider-Man No Way Home."
Like I won't ask for descriptions. I'm just gonna ask for an honest review, and that's it. That's all I want.
10 out of 10 because it has Daredevil.
Okay, well,
There you go. So I do
yeah.
want to say I do want to point out that like from what I've been lucky enough to have gathered over the course of
Oh yeah.
a long time, I'm very excited, and I do think this will be a high-ranking Spider-Man movie on my Spider-Man
It
ranking
has the
list.
potential to be at the top. Like it
Mm.
has that kind of upside. My point. I'm not saying it's gonna be that good, but absolutely can be.
It'll
Like it
never
really could.
beat the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but
No,
it'll
never.
get close.
Yeah. So
Fuck that movie.
yeah, that's pretty much it. But I will
Uh,
say also, the that updated Batman trailer from Japan, dude. That shit was fucking dope.
yes, I love all the new footage that we see. I believe that's Thomas and Martha Wayne in the pictures.
Yes.
So
Joke.
and like
That's totally Joker. Just saying.
by the way, we talk about like when you flash back to like a character's youth and we talk about like the castings and like some of these castings are
Oh
like
my god,
eerily
yes.
similar. The Paul
Paul
Dano,
Dano kid, dude.
the kid playing Paul Dano is just like scarily similar to Paul Dano. It's like
It's right out of like Paul Dano from Prisoners, but if he was younger.
it's just like
Yeah. You got to do like a
Like,
double take. Like,
bro, it's
wait,
basically like it literally looks like they put Paul Dano in the Snapchat baby filter.
dude,
It's crazy.
send-
It's crazy.
I'm going to send this over because I never realized how clear it is even more now. That's literally Barry Keoghan as Joker in that picture, dude. Look at the chin and the nose shape. Like, it's literally. I'm convinced that's totally him.
Hmm.
The same big nose. That's gonna
You
be
know,
him.
if Barry Keoghan wasn't an actor, with that nose, he would be a great clown.
Oh
Just
yeah.
like a great clown. Just like just a clown. But yes, yeah, he's gonna be in it. He's gonna be, you know, either in this film or the next. Like because obviously, oh, I think like the piece of news that we just missed out on was Warner Brothers
Oh
is
yeah.
testing two different cuts of the Batman. One let's just be honest. One has Barry as Joker appearing briefly. One has Barry cut from the film, and it'll
And they're
probably.
they're gonna show the one with
But
Barry.
I would show the one with Barry.
I'm pretty sure they will.
Yeah, and it's just like, so it seems pretty clear that Barry is, no matter what, whether he's cut from this film or not. To me, it's very clear that he's playing Joker
Yes, he is
going forward.
Joker, and he's gonna play a role in this trilogy.
It's just a matter of whether he shows up in the first film or whether he shows up somewhere else. He's
Yep.
signed up. He's your Joker. But like, I really just hope we get it. Like, I'm cool. Even if it like detours from the movie a little bit, I'm okay with it. Just get those comic book nerds going crazy.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why,
As long as
do
it's
it.
as long as it's not this drawn out thing where it's like, guys, we need to get back to you just completely detoured for no reason.
And from what I've heard, it's a very quick thing.
Yeah,
So
like
yeah,
as long as it's a quick little scene, there's no reason to cut it.
I agree.
Like you just
Yeah.
do it, you move on. Awesome, we got a cool Easter egg. We get
Yeah.
back to our movie. There we go. It's that simple. So like, if I were to bet money, I would say that they're gonna do the scene.
Me
That they're
too.
gonna show it,
Me too.
and that's my preference. So do that, please.
All right. Well, I think that's it.
Hashtag release the Barry cut.
Yes.
But okay.
So we will be waiting on Spider-Man tonight.
Yes.
Woo!
So now I can air my grievances.
Yeah, do it. Let out
Alright.
some steam if you need to.
For those that did not see my Twitter, I had a poor experience Saturday night. Here's the thing. I'm not gonna name names because I'm somewhat respectful. You just don't do that. If anyone that you just don't do that. Anyone that's seen my tweet, I had my boss comes down from the office above, right? I work at a movie theater. I work concessions. My you want to know what my transgression was that got me in trouble?
Yeah, what's up?
I opened an extra roll of quarters in the cash register.
Yeah.
That was what I did. And so on the sales floor, she comes down. So we're getting ready to wrap up, but movies are still playing. Like, we still have customers, yada yada yada. And a lot of the times, customers like to come up to us and they like to like ask questions and shit. Just, are you guys still open? Sorry, we're not. Yada yada yada. She comes down. She puts her finger in my face, embarrasses me in front of my coworker who was standing directly next to me. What if someone comes out of their movie, has to go to the bathroom or something, and that happens? That's like golden rule number 1 of business management is like, don't discipline your employees on the sales floor. You take them to a quiet area. Like, it's business 101. Like, I'm 21 years old. Like even I know that, like, that's such a big no-no. And
Yeah.
like my job, I'm getting paid what, like $14 an hour. It's like, if that's the way it's gonna be, like,
Yeah, fuck that.
I'm out. Like, I'm out. So like, and I'm gonna make it clear tomorrow. So like,
Good.
like, I'm like, it's just bullshit. Like, so basically, I just wanted to air my grievances because, like, if you're in a position, if anyone's watching this and you're in a position of like management, don't discipline your employees on the sales floor. Don't embarrass people. And she embarrassed another employee besides me.
Uh-huh.
And this employee worked their ass off. Like, I work with them. and they work their ass off, and we have to clean up when we're done. She did such a good job. It's ridiculous. And it's just, it sucks to see that people like my boss exist. So, I'm just so it's just so disheartening
Yeah,
to
people
deal
suck.
with. And like
Yeah.
this happened after I worked 6.5 hours, and it's just like I stock candy, I stock I stock the cooler, I make popcorn, I put the popcorn in popcorn bags and buckets. I do cash register, I do customer service. I'm basically a Swiss Army knife when I'm there.
Hmm.
Bro, $14 an hour, it's not worth the stress.
No,
That's
it's
that's
not.
all I want to say. I just wanted to air my grievances, just in case anyone ever listens to this. Don't discipline your employees for minor transgressions on the sales floor. Take them to a private area and speak in a respectful manner. Do not put your finger in
Hmm.
someone's face as
Yeah.
well. That was incredibly disrespectful, and I'm going to make that known. And she was also very loud as well. So, and we're in a movie theater, so just like don't do that anyways. Just like don't be loud in a movie theater. So thank you, Regina Marcus. There
Yeah.
you go. So,
There you go. All right. Yeah, that is the right thing to say. And please, if she's not gonna get with that shit, quit.
yeah,
Don't
thank you.
deal with it.
Yeah, so thank you very much. That's all I have to say. There we go.
But yeah, this has been a pleasure as always. Next time we talk, we have a couple episodes coming. I mean, today we're gonna be releasing the Far From Home review, and I'm trying to think what else. I have the schedule up here. Let me just see what we have coming because I want to make sure we're on the same page here, just for fun. We have here we go. Yeah, we're gonna do a No Way Home primer. That we'll do probably maybe even tomorrow, very soon for sure.
Sounds good. I do have work from 3:30 to 10, so like the
Perfect
earlier
because
would be.
perfect because I actually am busy from probably 4 to 8.
Sound good. Sound good. So we'll get that out, and I'll get the Far From Home review out today. I'll get the rate review out probably tomorrow, Wednesday, and then and then obviously this episode will get released
Yeah.
like whenever as well. So like, good. We got a lot of
Yes.
content coming, and hopefully we can, before we do our No Way Home review, hopefully we can find a way to squeeze in that Spider-Man rankings
Yeah,
video. So
that'd be
yeah.
great. That would be great. All right. Well, this has been a pleasure as always, Tom. But until next time, I hope you all enjoyed another episode of Cape Time. See you, everybody.
Hey.